Hi guys, a lot of you guys asked me to do a chapter 6 and 7 review. Well, instead of doing a full review of both chapters, I'm just kind of filling in the holes on that chapter 7 quiz we just took about the things that I didn't explain because I didn't know they were going to be on the quiz, and the stuff he tried to explain in class but was really unclear. And I can say that because I knew what I was doing, I got these questions right, and I still had no idea what the hell he was talking about. So I think this will clear, any air that might be foggy or misty or whatever you want to say. This will just get you the right answers, and it will show you the process the right way, unlike what he did. So this is for that scrap page question. That one that, I have my quiz right here. This is for this question right here. This one. Right here. I did the math right here, and I replaced the duration with y and the height with x because that's what they were supposed to be. You have to determine that on your own. What's the x and what's the y? What reacts to what? It's the easiest question to ask. So I replaced the numbers here. All you really do, it's asking you for the y hat equation, the prediction equation. Find the y hat right here. So you just use these three equations, the same three we've been using since the beginning of chapter 7, and it gives you all this information. So again, the mean of y, or the mean in this case of the duration, would be equal to y hat, or y bar, sorry. Mean of x, x bar. That kind of threw people off. I got thrown off by that in the beginning. So then also gives you the SD of both of them. SD stands for standard deviation, same thing here. So you have the SD of y and the SD of x. Pretty simple. Just replace these for x and y, place mean for, bar, just put bar or something like that, and just simplify it to the terms you know to make it easier and faster. Then all you do, just start off with b because you have all three variables for b. You have r, sy, and sx, as you can see right here in the givens. So solve for b. You get b equals 0.24. Plug that into your a equation, which is this. Okay? A equals this gigantic number. Then, remember, y hat equals a plus bx. So, a plus bx. Right there. Easy math. Just remember, use your calculator. Another interesting thing is if it's asking you for like the standard deviation or the r value, don't forget your calculator can do that. Don't forget about that stat calc one variable stat. I already have the lists in, and it'll give you the x bar, which is the average. It'll give you the standard deviation, all that stuff. But if you don't feel like doing that or whatever, you can go to second stat, okay, go to math, and you can choose mean of L1, or that's L4. No, I want to do mean of L1, right? L1, and boom, 3.7. That's actually part of the next question. The next question I'm doing is that part I on the quiz right here. So it says, student's GPA is one standard deviation above everyone else. And so what's the predicted value if he's one standard deviation for the entering GPA? What's the predicted, value for the college GPA? Kind of confusing question. This took me some time to figure out. So what this basically means is you need to figure out what is one standard deviation above the regular, GPA. So what you do is you find the mean of L1, which I just did. Then you find the standard deviation of L1, which is also in your calculator. You can just do second, stat, go to math, and it's all at the bottom. See, standard deviation of L1. Easy as that. Boom. You got your number right there. Okay? All you do now is you're multiplying your standard deviation by 1. Why 1? Because you're looking for one standard deviation over. If this was 1 under, you'd do -1. If this was 2 standard deviations over, you'd multiply it by 2. Just how many over or below are you going? This is the number. This is your first step. Get the same number, obviously, and then you add that number to your GPA. This is because a standard deviation is a unit of measure. Well, you can say this is one standard deviation away. The question is, in GPA points, how much is one standard deviation? This is how many GPA points one standard deviation is. So when they say you're 1 over, you need to convert that unit, kind of like you do in science with dimensional analysis. You convert that standard deviation points into GPA points right through doing this tiny little step. Then you can just add it straight to your, whatever GPA. So he's he's this above the mean. That's your new GPA. That is the student's entering GPA. His actual entering GPA, not just, given one standard deviation. It's actually what he had. Then you just plug that into your y-hat equation, which we had on this side of the page. You remember that? It's the exact same y-hat equation. It's actually not this one, sorry. I'm confusing you guys. But it was given on the quiz as answer choice A on this side. Hold on one sec. It was given right there. If you plugged it into your calculator, don't forget you can still use your stat, calc, linreg. Do not forget about linreg. Linreg saved me so many times on that test. Linreg, xlist L1, ylist, everything. And, well, look at that. It gets you the numbers that are pretty close. For some reason, my calculator doesn't give me the exact numbers. So if it's a multiple choice test, I just put it into the equation. And from there, I choose the best one that's closest. I don't know why it doesn't. It might be something with my calculator. It might be something with everyone's calculator. I'd have to ask. So you just plug it into your equation. Here's your equation from that other side of the page. X, plug it in for X. So you can see I did right there. See, 3.8885. That's the student's entering GPA. And you get about 3.8. And that is his current GPA prediction. That's what they thought. Really, it's easy math. Just don't get confused. The best way to do this kind of math, since it's really wordy and confusing, just sit down and say, what the hell do I need to answer for? What are they asking me? And then from there you say, okay, how will I use one of my 3 equations? And chances are you're going to be using at least 2 of them. But sometimes, you'll just use one, like for this one. We just use one. And just don't forget the steps to do it like this. Remember, first find your mean of list 1, list 2, whatever list you want to put the value that you're looking for in. Okay? So he says he's 1 standard deviation over the entering, so you find the mean of the entering GPAs. Then you find the standard deviation of the entering GPAs, multiply that by how many standard deviations he's over, remember, like converting units, and then you can take that number and, add it to the mean, because he's 1 standard deviation over the mean, so now that you converted it, you can add. And then you get his GPA, then you just plug it into your equation, and that's it, you're done. Easy. Another really cool tip and trick with the calculator is, you see I have my stat plot in for the question on the quiz, right? But what's that line doing in the middle? People were like, that's a residual line. That's not. That's something else, actually. I added this. Instead of doing, remember how you do second y equals to do the stat plot? Well, just press y equals. Then you type in that y-hat equation, this one right here. Type that in right into there. Easy enough, right? X is right here on the calculator, by the way. Just press that, and let's just undo that. That's not gonna work out. This was a 3. Sorry, I pressed on a button by accident. Okay? Then click on graph, and it makes your prediction line. This proves, to me at least, that this was not straight enough, and there were many outliers. I mean, what is an outlier? It's significantly away. This one is really significantly away. That's a good inch on the calculator. It's on the calculator too. Oh, well, we have to zoom 9, right, Mr. Farmer? Even better. We get another one here, we get another one there, and this would be kind of like a moderate outlier. But this is a really bad one, and this is a really bad one. This is just proving that he was wrong the entire time to say this is a linear function. First off, horizontal line is not what you want to be a linear function. Considering the slope is 0.313, just think about that for a second. That is 0.0313 steps up for every step across. That's pretty much a line, just like that. As you can see, the calculator can't even draw that slope, so it draws separate lines. Also, I need to know your guys' opinion about something. I happen to like making these videos. It's actually kind of fun. So I'm thinking about making a video about my personal favorite subject, something that most people wouldn't really expect me to know a lot about, and that is nuclear science. I spent like my entire 8th grade life learning about nuclear science, so like I know there's everything to know about nuclear science, except for like the really complicated math stuff, but like the concepts I do. I just want to know if you guys would be interested in making, having me make a video like that, because I actually find that stuff really interesting, and it will clear up a lot of confusion and fallacies that people might have. Thanks, comment on the video, or text me, or whatever the hell you want to do.